Mrs. Blachonic, according to your complaint, you and Ms. Williams were good friends? Yes. Judy, good friends. You were the bridesmaid at her wedding. I was her maid of honor. Judy, you were maid of honor. Gail, correct. Judy, and. She even lived with you for a while. Gail? Yes, she did. And then married. How long are you married? A year and a couple of months. Judy, this is your husband. Both. Yes. And there came a time when you were selling some tools. Correct, my husband passed away about 5 years ago. And he had a lot of tools in his possession, at that time. And I had no use for these tools. So Nanette, I knew her before I ever knew Fred. And Fred had an interest in these tools. So because of my friendship with Nanette, I sold him the tools without getting the money up front. So how much did you sell the tools for? For $1,200. And I have been trying. Now for Tiersto. Get my money back from these tools that I sold to him. Judy, did he pay you anything for the tools? Nothing. During that time that I wasn't getting money back for a few months, I made an agreement with him, thought. I would take $100 off the tool sif. He would do some work for Metha. I needed done at my home, so he agreed to this, and it wasn't the agreement. She's got it all backwards. First of all, I'm going to let her tell her story, okay? And then I'm going to allow you to tell yours. Thank you. Go ahead. Okay, Dot, our agreement was that, you would come and do 3 different projects that I had in my home. Well, the 2 doors that he put up, one of the doors doesn't fit right. It was never planed at the bottom. It's dragging on my carpet, and it's going to end up ruining my carpet. The door that's in the garage is a side garage door. He installed that, Dot. Now, I did purchase the doors, but he did not bother to measure the doors or anything. What do I know? I measured the height and the width. So what happens? Of the doors doesn't fit. The doors were too wide for it, but he proceeded in putting the door holes for the handle. And he ended up drilling the wrong hingus in, the wrong side of the door, so he had to, whatever. The door doesn't fit right. So you were dissatisfied with the work he did, right? Right. And I never did get the molding up in the hallway. And as far as the leaky tub goes, I ended up having to bring in a plumber to fix that because it never got fixed. Why didn't you pay her for the tools? Because at the time I was supposed to get a bonus check from my company. And that fell through. So when that fell through, I agreed to give her back the tools. Your Honor. Okay. But what do you mean you agreed to give her back the tools? I gave her back the tools. Okay, Judy, all of them? No, all but 2. I kept 2 for the price of the work that I did on her home. Which 2 tools did you keep? I kept a table saw and a miter saw. How much are those 2 items worth, sir? The miter saw is worth about $100, and the table saw, which they do not make anymore. It's a very old tool. It's worth less than $200, Your Honor, and that's why I kept those, 'cause I thought I have pictures of a table saw. What it would cost to replace a table saw, which was basically the same type of table saw. Gavel banging dramatic music English. Mrs. Blinfred, I know my tools. Pronounce your last name for me. Gail Blachonique. Mrs. Blachonique, listen to me. Your husband died 5 years ago, correct? So the tools were at least 5 years old, probably more like Fred. Believe me, they are more than 8 years old, 10 years old. Is that right? Fred, yeah, that's correct. So now the tools are 11 years old, right? No. He's had the tools in his possession, no, for over 2 years. Fred, no, that is not true, Gail. I've only had the tools for Judge. Listen to me, that's not true. A year and 2 months. You have had the tools? Come on. It's Judge Mr. Williams since October of 1994. Judge Mr. Williams. Fred, no? Way, Gail, you've got it indistinct. Judge Mr. Williams. Mrs. Williams, Your Honor? Judge pounding gavel. Is there something wrong with you? Yes. Are you in a courtroom? She's lying about that. That's bull. Mr. Williams, you're in a courtroom. Sir? Mrs. Williams, Your Honor? I'm sorry, I don't want to have to shout over you. I have to preserve my voice. I have a lot of cases to do today, Your Honor. Lee, Mrs. Williams, the plaintiff. The problem, Mr. Sit Williams, is as follows. These two women were very good friends. They are no longer very good friends, Beckos. You didn't do the right thing. I think I did the right thing. No, you didn't. You bought the tools. You didn't pay her. You should have paid. She is not a partner in your misfortune, F. You're not getting a bonus check. The sad part about it is your wife. It's true. She was the maid of honor at your wedding. According to her complaint, you lived in her house for a long time. Is that right? Mrs. Williams, 2 weeks, with her ex-husband and her children. Whatever. You were close enough so that she shared her home with you, right? Mrs. Williams, that's right. I mean, that's all very unfortunate that I even introduced them. Your Honor, it's all very unfortunate. You two gals aren't friends anymore over some ridiculous tools now. Maybe they felt as if, under the circumstances of your friendship, you should just give them the tools because you aren't going to use them anymore and you are going to sell them to somebody else. But according to this complaint in your answer, you fixed the price on them. She said, "How much do you think you want to give me for them?" And you said, minus 1,100, 1,100. Yes, you said, let's say, Gail, that's not true. I have a witness to that. Just to say, well, there's a difference between 1,100 and 1,200. You're talking about $100. We're not talking about... So, you fixed the price for them, and then you didn't give her any money, Well, Your Honor? She also had stated that I could use the tools and pay her whenever. That was the agreement, Judge, because she was your friend. I was your friend. Correct. And that's why I went and did that work. I didn't expect Fred in her home, it to be for 2 years. It's because I was your friend. Judge Mr. Williams, not for 2 years. Mr. Williams, bailiff order. Fred thought you'd pull this stuff. You're irritating me. You are irritating me because you don't recognize the fact that you didn't do the right thing. You were using these tools. And I have a sense that this woman wouldn't have carried if you said to her, "All I can give you is $50 this month, but I know I owe you the money, Gail, even $10 a week. So I'm going to give you $50 this month." Whatever else it was, you just decided that there were other things that were more important. How much do you estimate the tools that are currently in his possession are worth? Your Honor, $998.98 without taxes. They were bought brand new. Gail, that's to replace those tools. To replace those tools, Gail, correct? And you have no need for the tools anyway because you don't use those tools. It's beside the point, Your Honor. I understand that, but the tools. Even when you gave them to him, were at least 8 years old. Gail, they were still in very good, oh yes, way overworking condition. The judgment is for the plaintiff in the amount of $400. Thank you very much. That's all. Bailiff parties are excused. Step out, gavel pounding dramatic music English.